So my blog started about 5 years ago, and it really started to support the newsletter that I was sending out about my show and the shows on the network. I was just sharing my thoughts, and it kind of I was inspired to do it from following Seth Godin, who's an amazing thought leader in the marketing space, who just talked about making the commitment and just putting something out there and just do it, even if it's not perfect, even if it's not great, just do it to get into that habit of creating something. So I just started getting into that habit of just putting something out there. And typically I would write my blog posts about something related to what was going on in my life, or maybe a conversation, an idea that was sparked by a conversation I had with a friend, or by something that occurred, everything from my mom's passing to my training to become a shamanic facilitator to changing and my business to doing all kinds of things. Relationships were very much a big part of it. And then because over the years of putting it out, and a number of people would respond to different blog posts and say, wow, this one's really good. I'm sharing this with my list. Oh, Sam, I really love this. Thank you for sharing. Or Sam, this blog, it was the perfect thing I needed to read today. And so over time, I began to realize that people actually were finding a lot of value in the things I was sharing and writing. For me, it was just an idea, a thought, a perspective, something different that's just around what was going on with me. But it seems so many other people it really resonated with. So then from that evolved the idea of potentially collecting these and publishing. I actually had one woman who is a public relations person, and she several times said, when are you going to put this in a book? I want to see this in a book. She's one of my biggest supporters. I want to see all these in a book. And so that really helped me to have the confidence to say, okay, there is enough value here. Let's make a book. And we had about 300 blogs. And so I decided to hire a professional editor to really make it readable, make it a good book. And so we're trying to figure out how to organize them. And I was really thinking about what would be the best way to create the different chapters or different parts of the book. And so I decided to organize it around the chakras, the energy of the chakras, not specifically saying this is root chakra, this is your crown chakra, but more like, what are those energies? What do they represent? And so I came up with those 7 chapters. And being somebody who deeply believes in things like astrology and numerology and human design, all of those studies, for me, the number 18, being Jewish, Chai, it's the number of life. Also, 8 and 1 is 9, and 9 is sort of the number of completion. And it's completing the project. So we decided to have 18 sections or 18 essays in each chapter, which gave us a total of 126 essays for the book, which is less than half of what we started with. So it really took a while to sift through and say, this one's really good, this one needs some improvement, this is a good one for the chapter. And of course, there were certain chapters that we had many, many extra posts. And then other chapters, maybe we didn't have quite as many. And so we moved things around to places that made sense and trimmed things around. And even my editor said, I think we have enough material here for a second book. So we'll see if we'll do a second book. But I really find that organizing it and putting it together, that there was a real flow to the writing. It just wasn't necessarily a chronological flow. But if you follow the energy of it, there is a definite flow to it.